Funding for Building New York is provided by First American Title Insurance Company of New York.
Welcome to Building New York. My name is Michael Stoller. In 1969, an 18-year-old boy comes to Easton Parkway, comes to 770 Easton Parkway with $40 in his pocket to learn. This Lubavitch youth, whose parents were Holocaust survivors, born in Israel, comes here to learn. Today, this individual is building 5 million square feet of space in New York with projects, 27 projects around the country, projects in Las Vegas, Toronto, Miami, and New York. And I'm very fortunate to have Shaya Boymelgreen, chairman, partner of Leviev Boymelgreen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Shaya, why did you come to America when you were 18?
I came to the Lubavitcher Rebbe to be next to him, to watch him, and to learn in his yeshiva, and to follow him.
And you told me 1 year here, and you were in the dormitory and you were learning, and then you went back to Israel.
Correct.
And you decided that you wanted to come back to America.
Yes.
And that was 1971.
Yes.
And what did you came back to America, and you were learning, and you were ordained as a rabbi, and also ordained as a judge. And then you got married. And
Yes.
tell me a little bit about what happened then. It's 1972.
1972, I continued learning for 1 year to become a rabbi and to be a judge. I don't think that I was planning to be a rabbi. I don't like to tell people what to do or to judge people, but just I'm motivated to finish something, so I took this project, and I continued learning for 1 year after I got married till 1973.
And then?
My wife was a teacher, and she's supporting me. And then I found out that a grocery man told me that you owe $2,000, and I didn't want to tell your wife that you're in debt of $2,000, so we have to do something about.
And tell my audience, this is a very interesting thing. Here is an individual, you didn't speak too much English.
Not at all.
You didn't at all. You didn't speak any English.
No.
You really didn't write English.
No.
You were on Easton Parkway. You owed $2,000 in grocery debt. Did you have a child at this time?
The first baby.
The first baby was there. And there was a strike in the Jewish cemeteries.
Yes.
And this rabbi does what? What do you do?
I thought it's an opportunity to make the first dollar to pay my debt.
And what did you do?
So I went to the organization and I asked them to give me a job to dig a grave.
So here in 1973, at the age of 22, with a wife and a baby, you said, because it was a non-union, there was a strike going on at that time, you get a job for a period of 3 weeks, I believe, during the strike.
Correct. Yes.
And you were paid $150 for each grave that you dug, and then you had to fill it up also.
Of course.
And then after that, you would also get tips, because the family would give you a remuneration for that. And during that 3 weeks, you made...
I was digging probably 2 graves a day, 6 feet, as you know, each grave, and with blisters. I came home, but after 3 weeks, I came with $5,000 home.
Now, you came back, you paid the
grocery,
the $2,000, and you had $3,000. And then you went to Liberty, New York?
I went to Liberty, New York to open a pizza shop.
No offense. What did you know about opening up a pizza shop in Liberty, New York on Route 55?
Years before, I used to go in the summer to the Catskills, either with the yeshiva or with the camps. And I saw that the pizza shop are just jams with people from morning till late night or till morning. So I thought that's a good business. A lot of people standing and waiting for a slice of pizza and coffee or falafel. So that was the first thing that I thought I'll do with my $3,000. I borrowed some more money. I opened the pizza shop. It was a big diner for 70 seats. And I invited my wife's friend from Israel to make the falafel. And I went to a pizza man in Borough Park to do the pizza for me. And that was a very successful summer.
But as you said to me when we met the other day, this was a seasonal business. And now nobody was up at the Catskills at this time.
Correct.
And you're back in Eastern Parkway, and you have to do something. And then what did you do?
Because of my lack of the language, I went to the Jewish people and I said...
You went to work for a slumlord, you told me.
For a slum landlord, yes, in real estate. And I said, maybe I cannot write, but I'm active and I'm working hard and I'll manage your building. And I got a job. That's the first job in real estate. Before long, he went bankrupt and I picked up a couple buildings by him.
Right, and you told me that you bought 5 buildings for $15,000.
Yes.
In about 1975.
At 1974, 75, correct.
And what did you do with these buildings? I mean, 5 buildings at $15,000 is a wonderful price, but they were not in the best neighborhoods.
No, the building was very hard building. I have to collect in the morning, midday, night, collect the rent, change the windows, fix the roofs, fix the leaks. I was a plumber, I was a carpenter. Anything that has to be done in the building just to make a living from those buildings. It was really in bad shape. And we kept it for 2 years. And I came back to my partner and I said, this is too dangerous for me. I had then 3 children by that time. And I said, I think it's too dangerous for me to go at night, collect the rent. Maybe we should sell them. And we sold them.
And then you go into the school lunch program?
Yes, correct. It was a school lunch program, and we provide, the first year, we provide 15,000 meals per day. And the second year, 1976, we provide 50,000 meals a day. I had then probably over 100 workers at that time. And it was pretty good, but it was a seasoned business.
It's 1976, and you decide that there is a need for a Judaic business.
Correct.
What do you do?
Every Orthodox, from time to time, going to a Judaica store. And at that time, all the Judaica stores was a little stores, little Papa Mama store. If you need anything, you have to dig into a box. If you're looking for a book, it's not in order. You have to go over the whole store. So I went to the major bookstores in New York, and I started copying all the best site and the best organized books that's there. And I copied, and we made a prototype. And I had Eichler, that he was one of my guests to my house that came from out of town, and I named it after him.
So you and the Eichlers create Eichlers, which today is the largest Judaic store in the world.
Correct.
But that wasn't enough for you. You said to me, when you had Eichlers, you also then decided to go into the fish business and the shirts and accessories business.
I opened Eichler. In the same time, I went into the food business, processing food. It's called Goldston Fish. It was fish, pickles, all kosher food, and we distributed food. At the same time, we opened another store, clothing store. And I was between the stores and the businesses, make sure that each one does his job and trying to promote the business on each one of them.
And since you had so much spare time, you even went into the jewelry business. You took a store on 44th Street in Manhattan, you said.
Correct. It was another store, and we opened a jewelry store.
And what were you doing in the jewelry store?
It was a regular jewelry store on 44th Street. And we was there for 2 years, and was pretty successful, till Carlton Hotel offered me money I couldn't refuse. I sold them the place.
And then you were in the leather goods business. You went to Argentina.
To import leather goods, correct.
And what happened on that?
The currency in Argentina changed, and it didn't make any more sense. Before we bought for so cheap and sold it in New York for good profit. After 10 times of buying there, when I came back, the currency changed, and it was more expensive in Argentina than New York. So it was over.
So you lost money on that?
I wouldn't say I lost, but it wasn't no continuation.
But while you were in the jewelry business, you had told me that you were polishing diamonds. You were able to see the flaws, and at times you would buy diamonds, then go back to Israel and trade.
At that time, the diamond business was pretty good business. And to understand diamond, I went and I take a course, few hours a day, to polish the diamond and to learn the diamond. And I found out that the Israeli diamond, the big diamonds, are coming with flaws in them. And if you're going to polish them a little bit more, some of them, you can perfect it and bring it to an upper grade. So I went to Israel, bought diamonds that I saw that I can improve the diamond and bring it over here, polish it and sell it. And it was going on. Sometimes I would fly twice a week to Israel to buy the diamond. As much money as I have, buy and polish and upgrade them and sell them over here, go back to Israel.
It's 1979, and you then go to the Guyana? You go to Africa?
After a while, the diamond business went so up, it was about $60,000 per carat, the flawless carat. And the market started going down, and it fell to $6,000, and I lost all my money.
So now you go in 1979 and spend 3 years. You have 5 children at this time.
Correct.
And you leave your family to support your family, and you're living in the jungles of Africa mining diamonds.
I went to the Amazon, yes, in British Guyana, to dig for diamonds and try to come back on my feet.
And you come back in 1982. You still own Eichler's?
Yes.
You own the original Eichler's on Coney Island Avenue.
Correct.
And then it's 1982, you leave the diamond business. I mean, you have a number of things. And it's 82, and you open up the second Eichler's in Borough Park.
I was 3 years in the jungle, and that was enough for me and for my family. So I decided to come back. I felt comfortable financially. And I came back and I said, I'll open another store in Borough Park. And I settled there for a few years. And the store became very, very successful. But after 3 years, the store couldn't grow in the same percentage that it started. So I thought maybe it's enough. I'll leave it for the organization to continue on it, and I'll continue my way.
And subsequently, at the same time, you also decide that you go into the asbestos removal business?
The asbestos removal business became very, very attractive at that time. Every bank that need or to loan or to reloan any property ask for a certificate for clear of any asbestos of the building. So every landlord needed an asbestos removal company. So I opened a removal asbestos.
Now, you were in the asbestos business from 1982 to 1992.
Correct.
And in 1992, you go back from 18 years prior, you go back into the real estate business. And you go into what we call Alphabet City?
In 1982, most of my supervisors became owners of asbestos companies. I couldn't compete with my own people. And in the asbestos business, we used to remove the asbestos and then most of the place demo the building or the property that we removed. So I was already part in real estate, in the real estate demolition business.
But you weren't owning, you were demolishing.
I demolished somebody else, yes. But I said it's enough to demolish, maybe time to build. And that's the idea came. So I bought a property in Avenue A and East 3rd Street. It was at that time only $500,000, the property.
It was what, 40,000 square feet?
It was 40,000 square foot, the first building. It was retail and rental building, rental apartment.
And then a year later you buy the second building.
A block away on Avenue B and East 2nd. And before I finished East 2nd Street, I bought East 7th Street, East 7th and Avenue B.
But that building you didn't build. You bought the property for $2.3 million, and then you assembled it. And what happened? Somebody came to you.
It was a big mistake. When I was ready, actually, we started digging for the foundation, and somebody came to my office and said, "Shai, you need a partner?" I said, "No." He said, "I'll bring you all the money. Maybe we'll be partners." I said, "Maybe it's a good idea." And then he said, "But I'm going to build it. I'm a better developer." I said, "Maybe, but that's my business, and I'll go and develop." He said, "I'll buy you out." I said, "Anytime." He gave me one offer. I said, "Not enough." He gave me the second offer. I said, "Not enough." He gave me $2 million above anything that cost me till now. I said, "You got it." And that was a big mistake. But we're going ahead.
And during that time, we were also building in Williamsburg, some other buildings, some other towers. And then 1997 comes along, and you said to me that you met Orrin Wolf of Garden Homes from New Jersey, and they came by and offered you...
This is the second building that I finished.
The 100,000 square foot building?
It was 100,000 square foot, and he offered me 20... it cost us to build the building $8 million, the whole project. He offered me $21 million. Prices went up, the building was full, nice rent, and he thought he got to manage better and make more money. So he offered me $21 million. I said, "Hey, it's all yours."
And now 1997, where the market is changing, the world's changing, and Shaya Boymelgreen leaves the Avenue B and the Williamsburg and decides to buy the Daily News building on Pacific Street in Brooklyn. How do you decide to buy a 500,000 square foot building and convert it to residential condominiums?
I think at that time we have a need to buy not in the center of the city, not in the center of the prime places, because lack of money. And I saw an opportunity in this building. This building went for $6 million, 500,000 square foot for $6 million.
So it went for basically $11 a foot.
Something like that. And I said, there's no way we can make from this piece of glass, we can make a gem, we can make a diamond out of it.
Right, and you were right near Flatbush Avenue. You were right in the heart of downtown Brooklyn.
Correct.
In an area that today is Atlantic Yards, that Bruce Ratner is planning to build this stadium and everything else.
Yeah.
But it took chutzpah and a combination of confidence.
You know, the people that bought from the Daily News bought it for $3 million. When I met them, they didn't know if to sell it or not to sell it. And I saw what I can do from this building. And it was just a fortune, no windows, just one big manufactured building with all these big machineries over there. And I came to them and I said, we met in a pizza shop. And
you liked the pizza shop operation?
Yeah, it was 3 partners. They said, "Shai, let's talk in the pizza shop." I said, "Okay." And they said that they are not sure if they want to sell it or not, but for the price, they're going to sell it. I said, "You know what? I'll give you $6 million.
So they paid $3 million.
They paid 3. I knew they have somebody talking to them about $5 million. And if I'll offer them 5.5, they'll go to 6. The other guy going to give 6.5. It's going to go into an auction over here. And I said, "I'll give you $6 million. And I'll buy the property." I saw the face, they got very surprised. And they said they need a minute with themselves. They walked out, they came back and said, "Are you ready to give us $500,000 tomorrow morning?" I said, "Yes." In the morning I was there with $500,000 and we wrote a contract.
How long did it take you to redevelop the news building?
a year and a half was just to demo and to take out all the printing machine. It was huge, huge, 30 machines. Each machine was a building by itself. So a year and a half took me to demo the place. Then, at the same time, I was changing the zoning. The zoning change took 2.5 years. By the time the zoning was changed, the shape of the building as commercial was ready, and I started converted it to residential.
So when did the first tenant move in?
I believe in 1999, tenant was moving in.
And you were on the forefront of DUMBO. You purchased the property on Front Street in DUMBO in when, 1997, 1998?
It's 98, the first property in DUMBO. Today we have about 4 projects over there, beside one, the RFP that we got from the state, the Empire Stores.
Right. And tell my audience what you're doing over there. The Empire Stores is a very interesting...
Empire Stores, it's a landmark building, and it's a very difficult building.
Under the Brooklyn Bridge?
It's under the Brooklyn Bridge. It's about 400,000 square foot of building. It's a pretty difficult building, but we have a beautiful program over there with first floor retail and going part of the second floor. And the other 2 floors going to be try to bring over there the furniture showrooms over there with some offices. And on the top of the roof is a spectacular view to the Manhattan skyline, just beautiful. And we want to make a restaurant over there. It's the 5th floor is only a part of the building, so it's going to be an inside and outside restaurant on the roof.
And you're also doing right now at the RKO Keith, which lay dormant in Flushing for maybe 20, 25 years. What are you doing over there?
We just got the approval from the BSA and Landmark, and it's going to be the first floor going to be retail, and first and second part of the Landmark. We now taking out all the pieces. It was broken pieces that left. Beautiful that we have to cut everything out, do the demo, and then build and restore everything back the way it was. So people are going to come and see the way it was.
Right. It's after 9/11. You have 12 projects in the ground. New York is a little worried about the world, and then something happens. You go to Miami, and you get on a cruise with certain members of the Lubavitch community from Miami to the Caribbean. And what happens? You meet someone on that cruise.
You know, on a cruise, it's just, you see the sky and the sea and nothing else to do. The phones doesn't work. You can eat and eat and eat and look at the sky. So I met a mutual guy, introduced me to Mr. Leviev. And he's also sitting over there, and he cannot do no business, no telephones, no business. And we was walking on the beach in San Juan, and he asked me, Shaya, what are you doing for a living? I said, I'm a developer. I'm doing some business, I'm building here and there. And he said, interesting. I myself, I would like to come to America. And
at this time, this Russian immigrant who came to Israel was the chairman of the African Israel Company and probably one of the largest diamond dealers in the world, even as large as De Beers, correct?
I said he controlled 25% of the world diamond, from mining to cutting to selling.
So he says, I'm in the development, I'm in the diamond business, I want to come to America. What happens then?
No, he controlled the company Africa Israel. It's a public company in Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. And they going out of Israel in different countries. And he said, I would like to come to America and do the development. And he said, do you think we can do something together? I said, it's going to be my honor to work with you, but I'm working with my children. I don't have any partners. I'm working alone. He said, how about if I'll put $200 to $300 million cash into the partnership? I said, that's something else. Sounds interesting. And I said, listen, I have my own project that in the middle. Some of them in the beginning, some of them in the end. I cannot put any tag price for them to put into the pool. I'll start from new. I'll find a new property and we'll start from there. And that was the first building that I sent them the offer on Tribeca. It's Lake Street and West. And they called me back and they said, this is the diamond business. Probably you're talking about Africa, Israel. It's a different city, a different address. And they refer me to there. And I spoke to the president, Mr. Penny Cohen, and he said, it's Passover soon. Are you coming to Israel? I said, yes, I'll be there in 2 weeks. He said, let's sit down. We sat down, and after a few hours, we start writing a contract.
And since then, I mean, you truly, you know, Lower Manhattan was developed in the 90s, but you and your partners, when you bought the former J.P. Morgan headquarters at 15 Broad, across the street from the stock exchange, including me and you, as we said on one of my shows, you were surprised. You hoped that you would get $400 or $500 a foot. And that building today is like 85%, 90% sold?
It's 97%
97% sold. And then about a year and a half ago, you bought 20 Pine Street, and that's where I met with you, the former J.P. Morgan Chase building over there, and that's called 20 Pine by Armani.
Yes.
And now you're also building at 88 Leonard Street,
Yes.
a rental.
It's a rental building, right, with Liberty Point. Liberty Point. This is my bank. Liberty View. Liberty, the program of the
Liberty
state.
Bonds.
Liberty
Right.
Bonds.
But you know what? In addition to all this, suddenly, and you said to me, you decided that you wanted to become a banker. And last year, and I was fortunate that you invited me to the opening party, you opened Liberty Point Bank. And you're the chairman of the bank. And why do you want to become a banker?
I owe banks so much money, and for so long, and dealing with them. And every time I'm going to a bank to talk about a loan, I straighten my tie, I put my best suit, fresh shirt, and with so much respect, I decided one day I would like to be in the other side of the table and greet people in the same way. So that's just simple as that. I think
Shaya,
I think it's a Jewish business. It's a
okay,
banker.
It's a bank. Shaya, you've really grown. 36 years here. I'm proud to say that you are a true builder of New York. You're a builder of Miami. You're a builder in Toronto. And you're a friend. And I'm overjoyed that you've been here on my program today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Funding for Building New York was provided by First American Title Insurance Company of New York.